So the globalists are going to repeat that. They're going to have Obama, Bush may even end up being there, kind of a bipartisan thing, with his arms around the firefighters going, we did it. We did it. And by the way, we're going into Libya, we're going into Syria, we're going into Saudi Arabia, we're going into Pakistan. And it's just this good feeling about, we whooped that Osama, we just won the Super Bowl, we're going to do it again. Yeah, we're bankrupt. Our liberties are in pieces. We're hated all over the world. They lied about the WMDs. They lied about the yellow cake. They lied about everything premeditatively. And the news acts like it's weird. I mean, it would be normal just with no facts to just say, I don't believe them, because we know they lie so much. That's a big fact. But then I have the scripting, I have the preparing, I have Obama announcing he's going to ground zero, and torture's now good, and the wars were all good, and it was all worth it. See, the psychological warfare chiefs, they're geniuses. They held that Ben Laden goodie back from you so they could keep him as a boogeyman. But now that nobody was buying into that he was still alive, now they kill him when you least expect it, and it makes you feel good inside. You may be paying $4.30 a gallon. Your dollar may be being devalued. You may have to have the government grab your 3-year-old's genitals, but by God, they're doing it to fight Al-Qaeda. And it feels mighty good. How long's it been since you had the TSA cram their hands down your pants and squeeze your genitals? Well, that's too long, because I'm proud to be an American where I have no rights in the name of fighting Al-Qaeda. And all these special forces colonels go public and go, we'd capture thousands. We'd capture the leaders. We'd capture bin Laden's right-hand man and be ordered to release him. And British SAS caught in Basra in 2006, dressed up with big fake beards, running around shooting Iraqi police to get the Shiites and Sunnis killing each other right there at that key Shiite-Sunni border. I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Have you heard the evidence I've laid out here? Have you heard why we don't believe them, why we don't trust them? And then they dump it in the ocean. And then they now are saying, in fact, it's all over the news now, Sky Television, AP, can U.S. offer final proof of Obama's death? People are doubting. They're not buying it. What's wrong? Well, it's always lies. Well, why do you think we don't believe you? And so now the White House is, well, we might release a photo then. And I was on National British Radio a few hours ago, and they said, well, we know they faked some stuff in the past because the CIA's admittedly in the Washington Post admitting they put out fake videos. I was like, well, they faked it then. They wouldn't fake it now. They can do fake videos. 15 years ago, you saw Forrest Gump shake hands with Kennedy and LBJ. It's not real. Forrest Gump isn't real. They took black and white footage and cut him in. It's not real. When you see a talking dog or a talking chihuahua on a Taco Bell commercial, folks, it isn't real. Avatar, they're not green or blue-skinned aliens in a planet out there where they're getting something called unobtainium. I'm sorry, it's not real. And they know the average American watches more than 5 hours of TV a day. Children even more. They know people are blurring reality with unreality. I mean, a few weeks ago, I shot a spoof piece that said it was a spoof, where I joined the New World Order and was being a big police state thug in the office. Not letting people bring their own food. They had to buy it from me, like Chicago school districts. And about a third of the people posting thought it was real and were very upset and still hate me for it. And I knew that was going to happen, but not that bad. You know, this is a joke. This isn't real. Now I'm going to do it. Now, I want to kind of, I've been talking for about 35 minutes. I want to relax for a moment while Aaron just gives us his take on all this for about 5 minutes. And then I'm just going to run through the headlines, many of which I've already mentioned, but in more detail. And I want to remind you, not one on record, Steve Pachenik. Number two at the State Department under Henry Kissinger, worked with bin Laden. Came on my show in April of 2002 and said he's on ice, he's dead, it's going to be rolled out sometime in the future. Could be a year, could be 10 years. You read the transcript. Try and dig up the audio. Hopefully you can find it out there. April 22nd, 2002. And then I had two other White House sources tell me, and then people were blown away when Madeleine Albright came out and said, yeah, they've got him on ice and may roll him out. And then Walter Cronkite. I mean, this is David Rockefeller's best buddy. And then Teresa Heinz Kerry. And a bunch of other people, because this is well known in government. But see, they leapfrogged on us. You think Republicans and Democrats are against each other. No, just like Robert Gates is still the Secretary of Defense, now about to be Panetta. He was in both administrations and administrations before that. Robert Gates created al-Qaeda under Brzezinski in 1979. Brzezinski's written 2 books about it. See, I'm cursed with the history. I'm cursed with so much evidence it's staged, it's 100%. And then my gut, the minute my dad called me at 10 o'clock at night driving in from the office, 10 o'clock at night driving in from the office, my dad called me. And I instantly knew everything that was going to happen. I saw bin Laden, Obama, work for the same people, going to the ground zero and grandstanding. I saw them saying torture was good. I saw them not releasing the body. I called Nemo and I said, do an article saying they're not going to release the body. Kurt didn't do it, but he was like, wow, I don't know how you knew they'd do that today. I was like, well, just put my name on it. Write a blurb and say, watch, they won't release the body. Because I know them. Why should they give you anything? You buy anything. Why? So just like I told you they'd blow up the World Trade Center and blame it on bin Laden 2 months before it happened, I went to the intel sources and told you this. See, I knew the towers were leaning and had asbestos problems. I knew the feds had tried to blow them up in 1993. I knew that it had come out in FBI transcripts that they ran the whole operation. New York Times, CBS News. And I knew they were hyping bin Laden and saying, he's going to get you. Give your rights up. He's coming. When he attacks, give your rights up. And the RAND Corporation was putting out public reports about how they'd federalize the governors and take over and set up Homeland Security. And the CFR committee, Hart Rudman, had put it out. And I'd seen them really getting excited. And I saw on Hart Rudman, both Gary Hart and Rudman on Hardball about 3 months before 9/11. I was on the treadmill in my house running. Somebody ought to dig this up. And I was watching it because I like to run with them on because it would make me mad and I could jog further. And Gary Hart and Rudman were saying, things are about to change in America, Chris. And Chris, who'd been a former top operative of Jimmy Carter, and Brzezinski was just really excited because this was a message to all their buddies. This wasn't for you. Psychopaths like to brag, just like they announced it on May Day when they set up the Illuminati 1776, just like it's the same day they claim Hitler died. And, you know, the royals got married on the same day that the Hitler and Eva Braun got married. They're into the occult. It's all about when they'd kill people in Southeast Asia, they put an ace of spades there. Psychopaths, when they grab your little kid and kill them, they always leave a calling card. It's about, for them, letting everybody know that they're on the inside. And they had this little public sicko celebration as I'm jogging. And Gary Hart said, things are about to change. I'm going to share something big with you when we come back. This is very exciting, Chris. Chris was like, I really appreciate you sharing this. Folks, we're going to be right back. It was just a big, sick, psycho joke. He was just like, ah. And I'd never seen Matthews, and he was like, Matthews, like, tell us. You're about to see big changes, Chris. Big buildings, big things are coming down. There's going to be big attacks, and America's going to change, and it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a new world order. And Chris Matthews said, oh, thank you so much. And Rudman just said, you bet, Chris, this is really good. And I was just like jogging, and my girlfriend, now my wife, I got off the treadmill, took a shower, and I said, baby, I got to do more research, but they're about to have bin Laden hit and hit hard, and they're going to blame it on him. He'll be the patsy. And I'm on record breaking that down. When you study this as deeply as I do, I actually saw them have a demonic public orgy on TV where the vampire has to tell you what it's going to do. It's one of their rules. Not literal vampires, spiritual vampires. And they had that celebration right in front of me. Now, I'm going to cover a smattering of the news here in a moment, and we'll have more coverage of all this tomorrow. But Aaron Dyke's watching this, working on it. The new video, tell us the title, up at the Alex Jones channel. We'll get it posted at Infowars.com and get it out to everybody. This is just up my preliminary this morning. But what's your take on this whole spectacle?
Well, first of all, Alex, the video is called Exclusive Bin Laden Dead Hoax Exposed, and hopefully it is posted on Infowars. I was going to verify that before coming in, but now we don't have the chance. But the thing is, we've seen this coming for years. We knew they would someday roll out bin Laden. We didn't know the timing, or I certainly didn't. And so I was very stunned by the news today, but you begin to see who benefits in the headlines that are coming out.
You see the total scripting, how they're already on every front.
I'm looking right now at a Hindustan Times article reading upside down, but it says 40-minute op may give Obama 4 more years.
No, Gallup and others have already started their polling this morning, and they have to collate it and spin it. But preliminary, they're talking about a 20-point jump. He may even go up more.
Well, you saw how much all the ignorant public were cheering in front of the White House and the other.
Well, I feel sorry for those. They must have bust in really poor, uneducated people. A lot of those folks could hardly talk. I mean, I saw the video Luke Radowski shot, and it was just every one of them was just like, all of them, poor white kids, black kids, Hispanic. It was like, Bin Laden dead. I like Obama. Another guy, we kill Saddam. We kill him. And they go, no, it's Bin Laden. I know. I want cruise missile. Everybody. I mean, it was sad, man. They're like, see, Obama tough. Now you gonna give me the free house.
Yeah, and they were whooping and hollering and saying this is going to get his re-election. And yeah, you're right. There were people who literally thought it was Saddam Hussein who.
No, they were like white kids, Asian kids, black kids. They were literally like they'd had their brains sucked out. I mean, it was very depressing. And like young women going, I'm just feeling really good for America right now. We got Saddam. I mean the guy. Oh, America.
No, it had nothing to do with race or gender. There was a white guy in a Superman shirt waving a flag up in a tree, and it was. No,
I know, but there was a big crowd of Obama supporters. A lot of them were saying that.
Yeah,
they're like, he can get tough. He's good.
But as far as where's the body, dumping it in the sea, I mean, hypothetically, if you had a 10-year search for a kraken, a giant squid that nobody believed existed, and you finally killed the thing, you would haul it in and take photos.
Oh, they'll probably have James Cameron find the coffin in 2 years from now and see it's real. DNA tests show it's him. We're finding the coffin. We've got the coffin. We've found it. It's him. It's definitely the skull of Bin Laden. All of you doubters, you're discredited. What do you say?
Well, that might be too dangerous. They might have to cremate the body and then spread the ashes at sea, But, you can see their hand. They're covering up all the details. Nothing quite adds up. But how could it? They've been scripting it from all along. I mean, remember Clinton and his team had Obama in their had Bin Laden in their sights before Bush administration even came in, and they didn't take him out or capture him.
By the way, Aaron, my head is just spinning here. You can just see the scripting of this. And now they're on the news going, Pakistan's got some explaining to do, their connections to Al-Qaeda. And certainly they've got connections, just like our own government. You got some explaining to do, Robert Gates. Tell them about Robert Gates.
Robert Gates has been connected to Brzezinski for literally decades. He used to be one of his closest advisors. But remember, he came in as a supposed change from Rumsfeld because Rumsfeld had really been villainous, and it was pretty clear he wasn't carrying on any kind of legitimate war on terror. Then they brought Robert Gates in the latter part of Bush's second term as a supposed fresh face, kept him on under Obama. And now, very coincidentally, at this exact time, they're bringing in Panetta, rotating him from CIA to new Secretary of Defense, Panetta.
This is the 2012 kickoff of Obama's campaign.
And then they moved Petraeus seamlessly into CIA. It's the same faces being rotated out, and now they're going to play Panetta and Obama as some kind of hero team. They could have taken out Bin Laden literally any time.
Oh, yeah, I told you, Bin Laden getting tough on Osama. Hey, man. And I heard Good Old Boys on national and local radio, and it was just like, I'm telling you, right now, I'm walking a little taller, a little prouder. I'd be walking a little taller and prouder if the government wasn't sticking their hands down our kids' pants, and if foreign banks hadn't stolen tens of trillions of dollars, and if our media wasn't bought and paid for, and the dollar dying. But see, this is just a stall, folks, a little longer while they bring us down.
It really disgusts me, though, listening to local radio this morning, shows that are patently unpolitical who refuse to pay attention to the real issues, now celebrating in their ignorance. Yeah, we got him. The female host saying whoever took him out must have been a hunky SWAT team, a hunky SEAL team. And the guy host playing the song from the South Park movie and really cheering like,
America, F yeah, fighting for your freedom. Really, where's my freedom? But you're taking it away faster and faster.
And all across the dial, it's just this false exuberance and identifying.
It's like, woo, America, USA. But Paul Watson was telling me, he said that, and he sent me articles about it today. If you hang up a British flag or the Union Jack flag, God forbid an English flag, the police actually come. It's seen as racist to be nationalist. You're only allowed on the royal wedding. And that's how this is. It's like you're not supposed to be patriotic about the Bill of Rights, Constitution, Declaration of Independence. That's what makes America America. It's only when they say. And it's like all the candles and the flags out, and boy, we got hit. And that's what Obama is saying. He sounded like Glenn Beck. He goes, we've got to go back to right after 9/11. We've got to have that unity. Unity for the bankers to launch new wars and screw us. I mean, don't you get it, folks?